here. Green arrows means the track actually did connect somewhat. Red arrows means you have like an infinite distance.
Right.
So there's a little bit connected here, but it's not connected to both the start and the end. It's only connected to one of them.
Right.
And so that's why it's erroring.
We all work down in this main area. It's basically the living room of the house normally. Honestly, right now, we have people that come in anywhere from noon to 5 or 6, and that's when they start, and then they work until really late a lot of times. Kyle and I are the only people that live here, so we're pretty much working here all the time. This is all we really do with our lives, but we just love it that much. It's pretty much all we want to work on. Basically, in short, we say that we make interactive art. The core of it is we basically make video games.
The interactive media industry used to be an industry that was really focused on console and platforms that really took a lot of money to develop. Over the course of the years, technologies and tools have become more accessible to the entrepreneur, meaning that they're cheaper. And because of the evolution of the smartphone, we're really seeing a burst in entrepreneurial activity because
anyone can create a game now, in their basement. It's going on everywhere. And so the giants in the industry who were controlling the industry are now changing drastically or going under.
We're doing things where the car can rotate, the car can jump and fly, it can climb the top of a building. The exploration element was really interesting to us. Our thing was we wanted to make an atmospheric survival driving game, something that is, it is a racing game in a lot of ways, you're driving a car, but we have this freedom to do things that big companies just can't do, and even how we work and how we function is completely different.
The Seattle area has the largest concentration of video game and interactive media developers than anywhere else in the country. Over 300 companies. We have over 16,500 employees in this space, and these companies bring in over $9.7 billion. And those numbers are surprising to almost anybody that hears them.
The amount of talent available here is fantastic. There's a very entrepreneurial spirit that people have here, and there's some great schools that are generating new young people that are excited to get into the environment. So it's been a really great place to launch companies from.
Kind of the long story short of how the company kind of came into existence was we decided at the end of DigiPen we were going to start our own studio. So what we ended up doing was we did a Kickstarter for it, and we basically were like, we're going to build all this technology, we're going to build the idea, and if everything works out for the Kickstarter, then we'll go ahead and work on the game.
I love working in the video game industry because you have very passionate entrepreneurs. You have people that are extremely top-notch in their field, but at the same time very down-to-earth and really willing to help other younger companies and entrepreneurs in this space.
And I find this place to be so open in terms of collaboration, not only in the gaming industry, but across mediums.
The best example I can give is when we're preparing for the Kickstarter, we had a guy who knew a bunch of guys who basically had done Kickstarters, and he's like, okay, I can hook you up with them, and if they have time, maybe they can talk to you about their Kickstarter experience. And if you meet anybody that's done a Kickstarter, they're generally very excited to talk about that 30-day battle and how things are going since then. And so we had tons of guys that are just down the street. They're either maybe 10 miles away at most. It's kind of one of those things that I guess has been set in motion, where this is just a big echoplex of developers in the Seattle area, but it does encourage us to stay in this area.
Well, video games and interactive media is a very passion-driven industry, and we find that a lot of people are focused on what an exciting product they can develop, and they may not be thinking about the operations or management of their business.
So for me, I basically am the guy who spends almost all the time doing any of the business stuff, and probably at this point right now, more than 50% of my time.
When I became CEO, my background was creative. It was filmmaking, and I had to learn and adapt quickly.
I think being a commercial art, the intersection between fiscal reality and the passion of creating the best piece of art definitely butts heads all the time. I always say the difference between fine art and commercial art is fine art is done when it's done, and commercial art is the best it can be by Tuesday.
Even your mental focus, I'm 100% focused on, audio, gameplay, logic, whatever it is I'm working on. Now I kind of have to shift back and forth.
Running a business is something I'm actually not that good at.
It's not just having passion, that's good, but that's not going to do it. Having good business skills, that's great, but without the passion and without the culture, you're not going to create the magic that creates high quality, award-winning entertainment time after time.
You have to go and do it for love, and then if indeed that works out and the magic of entertainment takes place, which is always a combination of skill and luck and timing, and human sacrifice, then sometimes it can actually make money as well.
But the biggest thing is just that we continue to have the freedom that we already have. We're working on projects that we're passionate about, and we're able to grow at the rate that we want to grow, and we're able to provide the people that work with us the tools and the space and the time to work on the stuff so that they feel like they're actually satisfied with it. Basically having the playground where they're able to stay, in the sandbox for as long as they want until they feel like they're happy with it. That's kind of the long term, is being able to provide that for people that work for us.